Hi everyone, this is Sally Harris, and today I want to talk about how do you get to enjoy being a mom of adult children. Now, those of you watching this channel, obviously you more than likely or know someone who is having a struggle with their adult son or daughter for various reasons. And so if you're on that journey, this information will be helpful for you as you move forward. But for those of you who also have multiple children, and maybe you hopefully have some children that are getting through life just fine. And so these would be some good tips to move forward with them as well. So one thing I want to mention here is we really need to look at friendship, look at our relationship with our adult son or daughter as a friendship. We have to understand that we no longer have that control. And so we need to stop trying to do that. And I really think that's where most of the frustration that I see with the moms that I work with in group and through my workshops and through one-on-one coaching, that is the number one thing, is the moms still think that we get to have this control and give our 2 cents all the time, right? And it doesn't work. And so these are some really good things that I know I've had to learn, and I hope that they'll bless you as well. And so for those of you that are new here to this channel exists because I'm a firm believer that every mom deserves a support system while you're going through this crazy time, right? The world is crazy enough right now, and then you add this to the mix with what you're going through with one of your kids, and it just feels unbearable at times. So I have 4 things that I want to share with you. So these 4 tips. So the number 1 is knowing that you don't have a say anymore, right? So when you really look at it, you could be like, take a deep breath. It is not your responsibility. It doesn't mean you don't care. You have to separate those. Your caring and what is your responsibility are 2 different things. It's not your responsibility what happens. It's not your responsibility what choices that they make, but also remember that the consequences fall on them, not you. So that is number 1, okay? Number 2 is I encourage you to realize that you get to love them through the hard times, but not carry it. So if you look back to your younger years, I know I can raise my hand here, know that I did some really stupid things and I made some really poor choices. And the result of my own choices back then didn't really affect my parents. It was my own doing, right? I'm the one that had to, find the new job, or I'm the one that had to, apologize for something I said or did or made a bad choice. But it wasn't, my parents didn't hold on to that. That wasn't their responsibility. So just know that you get to love them. You get to love them through it. Again, going back to number 1, you don't have that say anymore, but just love them through it. And so number 3 is don't criticize. And this is kind of like an overall thing through all of it. But really, when you think about it, for example, let's say a lot of you on here have sons or daughters that are dealing with alcohol or drug issues. So if you know that your son or daughter, you feel that they're drinking too much. Well, maybe that you see that maybe they're drinking more than you care for. They need to come to that conclusion on their own. Because I can promise you, as a former drinker, 6 years of sobriety throughout this period of time, having someone tell me that I think you have a problem. Again, raise your hand, moms. If you realize if you say something like that, what's your child going to do? What does anyone do? They get defensive because they know deep down, I knew I had a problem. I didn't need someone to tell me. I just wanted people to love me through it. Doesn't mean you enable it, right? But you just have to love them through it. And they, as well as you, have to come to the conclusion, when is your rock bottom? What is your rock bottom? What is your threshold of pain that you want to deal with? So again, don't criticize, number 3. And then lastly is be supportive on what is going on in their life. Now, again, I'm not talking about the child that is extremely disrespectful to you or anything like that. That's a whole different conversation. But being supportive on what is going on in their life. Maybe they got a new job. Maybe they bought a new house, things like that. They're having a child, they're having a baby, or, those are big things. Maybe even just the little things, maybe they lost 10 pounds. Maybe they are going after a new hobby that they've always wanted to do but haven't had time, and so they're just kind of venturing out and learning new things. Like, be supportive, be interested in what they're interested in, whether you are or not, because that's what friends do. And if you look at it like, this is a friendship now. This isn't mom and daughter, and yes, you'll always have that title as mom, but as our kids grow up, they get to decide if we're going to be in their lives. And I know it sucks, right? It seems backwards. It seems wrong. Like, why do they get to choose that when we have laid out our life for them? But we're raising adults. Now, we were not raising children. We were raising adults. We did a lot of things good. We made a lot of mistakes along the way. But at the end of the day, they get to choose. And so I encourage you, know that you don't have the say anymore. Love them through the hard times, but don't carry it. Don't criticize them, and be supportive on what is going on in their life. So I hope this blessed you. And for those of you that are interested in one-on-one group coaching, and to see if we're a good fit for that, I encourage you to click on the link below and set up a time for a discovery call. And I look forward to chatting with you. Thanks. We'll see you next time.